A new snapshot of the state of the economy. The latest jobs report coming in better than expected again, with nearly 150,000 jobs added. NewsNation's Alicia Nieves is live for us on Wall Street with more. Alicia, what are you seeing in some of the data and the latest numbers?
Yeah, I mean, this was a good report. Quite frankly, a little bit unexpected. I mean, this is the fifth consecutive jobs report since Trump's tariffs went into place that have either come in better than expected or right in line with expectations. That's noticeable or notable, really, because since Liberation Day, as the administration has called it, there has been this fear on Wall Street and Main Street, you, me, and most people at home, that the tariffs would lead to some economic uncertainty and maybe some economic downside. But so far in the data, that has not been seen. The latest data point being the jobs report that just came out a little while ago, 147,000 jobs added, when the expectation was that we would continue to see a slowdown of only 110,000 jobs added. But even more notable was the unemployment rate. That came down to 4.1% when the expectation was that it was going to tick up from 4.2 to 4.3%. As a result of this jobs report, again, coming in better than expected. If we take a look at the futures and where markets are heading, looking to open in just a few minutes, they're looking to open to the upside. They were earlier in the morning kind of hugging around the flat line, even teetering into negative territory. And so on the news of this report, we've seen this bounce in the markets. And that's really noticeable and notable, again, because investors were pricing in the potential for further slowdown. Again, only 110,000 jobs. And they were pricing that in because we did get some economic data over the last week that showed the start of potentially some worry, right? We got PCE data that showed consumer spending. That trickled down a little bit, about 0.1%. That is huge in the fact that, 70% of our economy is based on consumer spending. And then core inflation with PCE, that rose 2.7% as opposed to 2.6%, which was the expectation. Then just yesterday, we got ADP, private payroll numbers. It showed a reduction in the private sector, about 33,000 jobs, when the expectation was 100,000 jobs. I warned earlier in the morning that ADP does not always correlate to the jobs report, and certainly we saw that now. The markets had priced that out, and they didn't budge yesterday on those numbers. And again, if we look at the markets right now before I wrap this, we're looking to open to the upside. We're going to go into the 4th of July weekend with, markets hitting another potential record. S&P 500 has been in record territory the better part of this week, and it looks like it's going to potentially close when markets close early today at 1 p.m. In that territory. I expect the president going to be taking a victory lap on Truth Social, because for his end and for the administration, this is them telling, the markets in the world right now that there hasn't been this major economic impact that everyone has been worried about, 4 or 5 months into tariffs being in effect. But I will say, on the other end, it's probably not going to lead to a rate cut, which is something the president has wanted. This all but surely removes the chance that we see a rate cut at the end of the month when the FOMC meets again. Marni?
All right. Thank you for that update, Alicia. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.